Sometimes celebrities are unruly. That's just a fact. Whether it's because of their temper, their behavior, or just other circumstances, it's not an uncommon thing to hear about celebrities being kicked out of some businesses. Now that's what we're gonna talk about today as we dive into the top 10 celebrities who are kicked out of restaurants. What's going on, guys? I'm your host Bree Room and welcome back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. Before we dive into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and have notifications turned on so you never miss out on a new video. Also check up here for a playlist to see more videos like this one and stick around to the end for some bonus content. Now let's get started. Coming in at number 10, Kenya Moore. The Real Housewives of New York star ruffled some feathers at a restaurant and was kicked out for changing her baby's diaper in their establishment. Kenya dished about the incident on Instagram last year, saying that she was super embarrassed that she had no idea that there was a rule against changing your baby in a restaurant in New York City. She shared the post and promoted an app for moms that helped them navigate through motherhood, joking that she used the app to learn about other places where she can't change her baby's diaper. To be fair, I didn't know this was some kind of unwritten rule. I mean, I'm not a mom, so why would I? But I don't know, I just figured that it would be allowed. Also, I don't know if she was changing the diaper in the bathroom or in the dining room. If it was the latter, I understand her getting kicked out, but if not, then why? Sorry, Kenya. At number 9, Stewart RAHR. Billionaire philanthropist Stewart RAHR is no longer welcome at a popular restaurant thanks to his poor behavior. After throwing a bit of a tantrum at Midtown's Nobu 57, Stewart RAHR is no longer welcome at that location, nor any other Nobu restaurant. It was reported that RAHR made quite the scene after not being able to be seated at his favorite table. According to sources, the billionaire was caught trying to pay off guests in order to secure his favorite spot, and when caught, he fired back at a manager using some pretty colorful language. According to the restaurant staff, RAHR arrived at the restaurant late, and upon his arrival he marched up to his table and demanded that the people sitting there leave because it was his spot. I can't tell if this guy sounds more like Sheldon Cooper in this scenario or a toddler. He also sent angry emails to the restaurant executives and added several A-list celebrities to the thread, and even went back to the restaurant to harass staff. In the end, he got banned for life, and it looks like you're never gonna get your spot back, Stu. In at 8, Ruby Rose. Apparently Ruby Rose caused such a ruckus at a restaurant in 2016 that the restaurant's owner had to kick her out. While dining at the Rebellion Bar and Urban Kitchen, Ruby threw quite a tantrum and even threw french fries at staff. But her outburst wasn't necessarily unwarranted. According to Ruby, she had been waiting for her food for over 90 minutes, which would already anger a customer, but she was also getting egged on by the restaurant's bartender. The bartender was mocking and making fun of Ruby for refusing drinks and made fun of her sobriety. Kind of a dick move. So between the rude bartender and the long wait, Ruby just kind of lost her patience and got pretty mad. Although I don't think that the french fry throwing was really necessary. Coming in at number 7, Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin was kicked out of a fast food establishment for probably the dumbest reason ever. The Queen of Soul told her story about having gone to a Johnny Rockets after performing at a sold-out show, and she just ordered a hamburger to go. Seems innocent enough, right? Well, when she got the burger, she decided that she was going to sit down and eat it instead of taking it to go, so she grabbed a table. One of the restaurant's employees didn't accept that and really just started ripping on the singer, saying that she couldn't just find any table she wanted and sit down without permission, and then she was kicked out. I mean, the woman just finished doing a sold-out concert. Let her sit down and eat her burger, for crying out loud. After Aretha told sources about what happened, the employee got a talking to, as the employer said that they were still new and didn't know any better, but sheesh, it was just a burger, dude. At number 6, Jamie Foxx. In 2017, Jamie Foxx and a group of his friends were involved in an altercation at a restaurant that ended up with them getting kicked out. The group was dining at Catch in West Hollywood, a very popular spot because the incident that followed was actually witnessed by Jerry Bruckheimer, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Michael Bay. The incident began when a man went up to Jamie Foxx's table complaining that they were being too loud. One witness claims that the man told them, quote, "You don't want to mess with me, I'm from New York," to which a member of Jamie's group replied, "F you, I'm from Oakland." I don't know what any of that means, but I guess it was bad. Apparently, at this point, the man lunged at Jamie, pulling him down onto a table, and then Jamie turned around and put the guy in a chokehold. After this physical altercation, both Jamie's group as well as the man who provoked them were all asked to leave the restaurant. I understand that both parties were in the fight, But that one guy is the one who started the whole thing in the first place. I feel like he should have been the one who got kicked out since he was the one being unruly in the first place. But that's just my opinion. Halfway through at number 5, Tommy Lee. Musician Tommy Lee and his wife, former Vine star Brittney Ferlin, were thrown out of a high-end restaurant in New Orleans after being unruly. According to an article by TMZ, the couple were looking to dine at the Emerald Lagasse Delmonico restaurant when an altercation began. Tommy and Brittney entered the restaurant wearing hats, and according to the restaurant's dress code, they aren't allowed to wear them and were asked to take their hats off. This is when Tommy kind of lost his lid, so to speak, and got upset and threw some colorful language about, but eventually removed his hat as they were seated at their table. But it wasn't too long after that an employee came up to them asking about his use of profanity in the restaurant. Tommy got even more frustrated with the staff, and after a long spew of profanities, the restaurant's employees were forced to remove the pair from the premises. A few F-bombs later, the couple were forced to find somewhere else to eat. And at 4, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. With the growing political tensions in the US, there was bound to be a story concerning someone's political views, and this is it. The former White House press secretary who served under President Donald Trump was kicked out of a dining establishment in 2018 because of her connection and support of Trump. The owner of the Red Hen restaurant in Lexington, Virginia, was notified of Sanders' attendance at their farm-to-table meal and asked the press secretary to leave the premises. Owner Stephanie Wilkinson told sources that one of her chefs called her at home to tell her that Sanders was in the restaurant and that there were concerns with her being there. This prompted Stephanie to go over to the restaurant and make the decision to remove Sanders from the premises. The concern was that as the press secretary worked under Donald Trump and was one of his supporters who has defended anti-LGBTQ issues, Stephanie wanted to ensure the comfort and safety of her employees, many of whom identify as part of the LGBT community. Both parties were civil about Sanders' removal, though it did end up attracting a lot of media attention. Coming in at number 3, Rita Ora. Rita Ora is one of the industry's biggest stars, so you wouldn't think that she'd be turned away from a restaurant, but that's exactly what happened to her one day. She spoke about her experience with being kicked out of a restaurant on Jonathan Ross's show along with Ed Sheeran and Gordon Ramsay. According to Rita, she was interested in dining at one of Gordon Ramsay's restaurants because it's so popular, and I mean, it's Gordon Ramsay. Who wouldn't want to dine there? She told her story saying, quote, "I obviously wasn't dressed the part. I walked in was like, ooh, I'd love a little meal, you know? And then they were like, no, this isn't happening for you." Apparently Rita didn't meet the restaurant's dress code, which is supposed to be more formal, and wasn't allowed entry. Rita said that she was wearing a tracksuit and sneakers when she tried to get in, but to be fair, a lot of celebrities, especially rappers, are wearing that too, and it would be considered okay. Either way, she didn't get in that time, but Gordon promised her that she'd be able to dine at his restaurant at some other time. In at 2, Kit Harington. Game of Thrones star Kit Harington was less than chivalrous at a bar in NYC, resulting him in getting removed from the establishment by staff members. According to a report from TMZ in 2018, the King in the North was having a night out at the bar playing pool and drinking to excess. During the pool match, it is said that the actor got a little unruly and belligerent and was asked to leave the premises, which he did. But a little while later he came back to the bar and at that point had to be forcefully removed from the bar. Kit has since come out to address his excessive drinking, saying that he was having a hard time coping with the end of Game of Thrones, and with that ending, I don't blame him. After filming Wrapped on the HBO show, Kit actually checked himself into rehab for his own well-being and sought out therapy to help him cope with the evolving career. And at number 1, Britney Spears. Back in 2007, during her public fall from grace, Britney Spears put on quite the spectacle, which ended up getting her kicked out of an eating establishment. While dining at the Chateau Marmont, Britney was really giving her compliments to the chef because she seemed to have really enjoyed her food. Maybe a little bit too much. Diners were shocked to see Britney smearing her face with the gourmet food in a show of inappropriate behavior. As a result, she was removed from the premises and has been banned from the restaurant. People who witnessed Britney's behavior said that they wouldn't even expect this kind of thing from teenagers, and even added that royalty have dined at the Chateau Marmont, and this behavior was absolutely unacceptable. Apparently when Britney arrived at the hotel, she looked out of it, and others even pointed out that she didn't even recognize another famous diner, Victoria Beckham, who also said that Britney was acting weird. Because the Chateau was such a high-profile place, she could have made a better reputation for herself from them, but instead ended up looking way worse. Now before I wrap things up, let's do some quick comment shoutouts from the top 10 times celebrities got mad. Prep for it says, I agree with Halle Berry and her husband, I would have been mad too. I am happiest when helping others, whether it's helping a neighbor carry groceries or contacting everyone I know to see if they're okay or just need to talk during crazy 2020. That is a very nice thing to do. I haven't really heard of many people just calling someone up to see if they're okay. That is a very, very good thing to do. You're a good person. Gail Mimi of 6 says, what makes me happy is when someone makes me laugh. Also being around all of my family. I have 6 kids and 6 grandkids. That is a very big family. But if family makes you happy, then good for you. I mean, I don't have a big family, so like, I don't know about that one, but you seem to have a very large and loving family. Emily QS says, I can so understand the celebs getting mad, especially when their kids are around the situation. Yeah, I hate watching those videos of paparazzi getting up close to a kid's face, especially with those bright lights. That must be so terrifying for them. I really feel bad for them. Honestly, I'd be the kind of mom to punch them in the face if they got too close. Like, I'll square up with you. Thanks for your comments and thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below what your worst restaurant experience was. Until next time, stay safe, be kind to others, and stay groovy, friends.